Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy, and welcome back to Discardables! Today on Discardables, jumbo cards and what the hey you do with these things. I see a lot of people just throw them away, or toss them in a drawer. They take up space, they get damaged easily, they're just in the way. These are opinions that I often see about them. Card shops, if they even carry them at all, they'll sell them for like $1 because nobody wants them or knows even what they're for. And I think that's a shame because they're the best way to see a lot of beautiful artwork in high detail. I love that so much. And not just beautiful artwork, but classic artwork too. They're not available in any greater detail anywhere else. Every now and then they'll provide an official solution for these, such as this 25th anniversary binder that I bought during the 25th anniversary. But that's just it. They're not always available everywhere, and this binder isn't particularly in stores anymore. And on top of that, it only gets you covered for one size of jumbo card. Yeah, there's multiple sizes of jumbo cards. I didn't know this either until I was trying to find a solution for these. So for this one, if we're talking about the smaller size of jumbo cards, how ironic that this is the only way that Gigantamax Pokemon have ever been printed on these, this has you covered. What about when it doesn't? You can't just stuff big cards into these little tiny pockets. I kept getting so tired of the fact that there was no good way to store these that was offered officially, even though they keep giving them to you with every single box that you buy. I could also go into how they give you coins, even though those aren't allowed at official tournaments, but those are a whole other can of worms. So here's what I did. I bought a scrapbook along with 6x8 pocket pages. With this, you can store any size of a jumbo card that has ever been officially printed, to my knowledge. I don't know if there is I know of 3 different sizes, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if there is a 4th that is really obscure that I'm not aware of. But as you can see, here we got some Gen 6 cards. We got an X and Y promo there. Let's skip ahead a little bit. We got some Gen 7 promos here as well. Any jumbo card that you want to try fits in nicely. I talked about you in the last episode and how I think you're a way cooler card than the expensive version of you. Let's skip ahead a little bit more. A lot of Gen 7 stuff in here, but my point is, doesn't really seem to matter what era of Pokemon we're talking about. This works out nicely. I like it a lot. What's so funny about these is that I begrudgingly threw these away for years until eventually one day I went, there has to be a better way to do this. I don't believe that no one has come up with anything. So I went on YouTube and I tried searching for videos about this, and I found a bunch of card channels suggesting frankly terrible ideas. I'm sorry, but they were suggesting things like framing them in picture frames, or how could you do that for how many they give you? Or one guy was suggesting gluing a pocket onto an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and using a pocket page of that size and sticking the card inside of the pocket glued to the paper. I saw a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do. And then, in the most unlikely of places, as it always is, I find this little girl who has a scrapbooking channel who is all, hey, when I was 14, I figured out that you could do this with jumbo cards, and I really hope this finds somebody who could really use this information. And this video had maybe 200 views when I found it. It was like the 20th result down, and yet it's the most brilliant idea I've ever seen. I haven't been able to find this video again since I watched it for the first time. It might have been taken down, but if I can find it again, I will have it linked at the end of this video because I really want to give exposure to that channel because this really saved my bacon. Well, saved my jumbo cards, you know, it didn't really have anything to do with my breakfast, but hey. These are the 2 scrapbooks that I have, and unfortunately it seems like scrapbooking companies discontinue their products all the freaking time, even if they're good. I've never been able to find another one of these, and this is my favorite one. I wish I could tell you what to buy, but the important thing is that it's a 2-ring binder and that the 6x8 pages that you purchase are 2-ring. Next we move on to the Playmat of the day. This is just an artist that I wanted to highlight, no sponsorship deal here at all. This is Nigerianart.com. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Their artwork is beautiful. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it at a convention, the dragon with the crystals growing on it and all that, and the way it contrasts with the background. I love this. There's a lot of oddities with jumbo cards that I've noticed over the years. There's some exclusive cards that are not legal in any way or capacity that are only printed as jumbo cards. Be legendary! 1,000 damage. So they just kind of look at somebody and then they just croak. Raiko, Entei, and Suicune embark on a year of legendary adventures. Technically, this is an unnumbered promo card. Collection's not truly complete till you have it. Oftentimes in Japanese, especially in the early days of the TCG, there was artwork that, as far as I know, only ever appeared on jumbo cards. This being one of my favorites, with Charmander being petrified of his tail touching the water while he's in an inner tube. Probably should have thought that one through better, buddy. Probably my favorite one of these is this promo card for Pokemon 2000 of Lawrence III. I've never seen this artwork on any regular card, and the fact that Lawrence III kind of began his whole villainy with being a Pokemon card collector, having him as a Pokemon card, I always thought was awesome. Mine is just really liking the artwork and being a huge fan of the second movie when I was growing up. This one's probably my favorite. Moving on, I want to talk about the Legend cards from the Heart Gold Soul Silver sets. These were two cards that had to be played together, as the top half had the HP and type, bottom half had the moves, and you played them as one big card that was supposed to be super powerful. The reason why this is relevant is they made jumbo card versions of these where you can see the artwork a lot more clearly and all in one without a dividing line in the middle. Clever use for these things. One of my favorite pieces of card art of all time, and sadly I don't have the bottom half of this one, is Darkrai Cresselia Legend. Just look at this thing! Darkrai looks like some kind of dead tree who wants to eat you. I don't even know if that is badass, but somehow it manages to be an accurate description while also being a badass, and that's kind of amazing in and of itself. Such a good card, and I'm so happy I have a bigger, higher quality version of it. It's one reason why I'm happy I didn't throw away all of mine when I didn't know what to do with them. I took one look at this and I was just saying, this is too cool to throw away. That's all the jumbo cards I wanted to show. Now moving on to an update about my personal collection. I have right here a pretty special binder to me. I managed to inherit, I make it sound like he's dead, I hope that's not actually the case. I'll be sure to check after I finish this video. I managed to get Stephen George's childhood collection of Pokemon cards. He was a gung-ho collector back during the first and second generations, and he happened to have a lot of first edition fossil cards in his collection. Commons, uncommons, and even some rares. This put me in a position where it was actually manageable to possibly try completing a first edition set. And I have with me the final card. I wanted to put it in place here. Now, I'd like you to kind of guess what it is, because it certainly wasn't the card I would have thought would have been the last one. So it's none of these. Now we're getting into the uncommon territory. It's the non-holo Raichu. That was the final one I was missing. So I'll put that in. It is sleeved. I sleeve all of my first editions, even if they are common. You never know. There's always some common cards that end up spiking in value when you least expect it. There's all that. Now we're getting into the holo. Yeah, I had the holo Raichu. Didn't have that one. And even bigger salt in the wound was that my checklist was wrong. According to my checklist, this holo Ditto was the last one I needed. I got it home thinking I had a complete set, and then whoops, you don't have the non-holo Raichu. But all is right in the world. This is my first edition set that I have ever completed, and I'm so happy. I feel like as kids we all had a few first edition cards that we just got rid of or lost track of over the years. Mine was a Neo Genesis first edition Lugia. The holo one. Yep. A thing that I like to do, just to show at a glance how complete my collection is a silver star for one of every card and a gold star for every variant of every card, which I believe means we've earned that. Pretty well applied for one hand. I asked for feedback after the last episode of Discardables to see if this would be a thing that you were interested in or if it could stick around, and by far the most common thing that was asked is that we open packs at the end of each episode, and I have no idea why I didn't think of this while making the last one. It just sort of makes sense to go out on that note, so let's do it. As always, we toss the trash away. It's a white one. Don't look up what the different colors of the QR codes mean, please. You'll live a much happier life if you don't. And I guess now that I'm a card opening channel, I have to do this. Fire! Well, lightning can make fire, so I wasn't entirely wrong. Pupitar, Zvilus, Fletchinder, Tauros, Rookidee. Aw, just doing a little step there, looking all sassy. Galarian Mr. Mime, Electrike, Dino, Bunnelby. Oh, what? What? Exquisite. Okay, so I didn't even get to go over the rules yet. I was gonna say, I'll go until I get a card I don't have. That was what the rule was, and I'm gonna look and see if I actually have this one. 199, this is 197, 198. I did not have the big Parasol Secret Rare. For those unfamiliar, Secret Rare is one of the highest rarities. Depending on the set, it might be the highest. This one, I think that this counts as a separate rarity tier though, but that's beside the point. Generally, Secret Rares are about a 3% chance. And I got it in one try. Well, that's certainly a way to go out. Didn't think I'd be getting one of those today, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I apologize that this one took a lot longer than, well, this is the only gap between episodes, so I guess it didn't take longer than anything, but point is, starting a new side thing right before a Xenoblade game is kind of the reason why it didn't happen sooner. I just didn't really have time to think about this, so that's why it is. I want the next episode to come out sooner, and hopefully it will. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.